Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Majemuoluwa, and on this channel I create videos to help you get started in your tech career. And in this video I'm going to be sharing practical tips on how you can become a product manager. Oftentimes I get a lot of messages, a lot of DMs, emails as well from people that are looking to start a career as a product manager, and the question is always, I don't know how to get started, I don't have any experience in tech. Or it could also be a case of, oh, I'm already in tech but I'm looking to transition into a product manager role. So if you are like this, or if you know anybody that is looking to become a product manager, then this video is for you and you should definitely share it with them. So if you're not subscribed yet, now is a good time to hit that subscribe button. All right, let's get straight into the video. So the first step in becoming a product manager, obviously, is for you to first understand what a product manager does. Who is a product manager, right? I know a lot of people, for some people it's a case of, oh, I heard that product management is like the no code, is one of the no code areas in tech, and it's probably an easier option for me to break into tech, right? Or, oh, I heard product managers earn decent pay and that's why I want to become a product manager. Irrespective of what your reasons are, right, the first thing that I need you to do is to understand who a product manager is. So first things first, right? A product manager identifies customer problems, defines solutions, and then they work with engineers and developers, engineers and designers to build these solutions. And it doesn't just stop at building solutions. It's also the product manager's responsibility to ensure they're able to drive growth for the product, right? You don't want to just build your products and nobody is using it, right? So as a product manager, the entire life cycle of the product, overseeing the entire life cycle of the products, is your responsibility. So you do not necessarily have to code as a product manager, but it is very important that you have a good understanding of tech, users, and strategy. So the second thing after you understand what a product manager does that I need you to do is you need to pick your entry path. How do you want to break into this field, right? So right from the onset, it's important for you to have, how they say, they talk about setting SMART goals, right? It's specific, measurable, achievable, relatable, realistic, I don't know, and then time bound, right? So in setting a SMART goal into how you want to become a product manager, right, you need to decide what's your entry path going to look like. Are you looking to transition, like do an internal transition? So say you're working in an organization, right, but you're not in the tech team, you're not in the product team. Say you're working as a customer success personnel, right? So you want this answer, is that the path I want to use to break into product management, right? Am I looking to transition from my CS role here in this organization that I work in and then move to a product manager, or move to the product team, right? Could be like a product intern, associate PM, or whatever. So you need to consider what your entry path is. So is it like an internal transition, or do you want to start with related roles, right? So it's possible you do not exactly immediately get like a PM role, right? So you could consider, oh, maybe I could actually start with roles like as a business analyst, UX researcher, product marketing. Say I already have some sort of marketing background, right? And then I'm able to move first to working as a product marketing person, and then from there move to being a product manager. Or I want to get or start as a UX researcher, a business analyst, right? So that's another option, right? And then another option could be, I just want to go apply for entry-level PM roles, right? So what I'm trying to say is that it's important that you sort of plan your entry path, right? Even before you get started with the whole thing, right? Just plan based on like your current reality. What do you think is the best entry path for you? So is it internal transition? Is it you starting with a similar role, or is it you just going straight for entry-level product management role? So you need to actually answer these questions for yourself. So the next thing after picking the right path is that you need to build the right skills. So it's not just for you to just say, oh, I want to be a product manager, or I know what a product manager does. You actually need to work on building the skills, right? And the interesting thing about product management is, of course, it's a no-code area, right? So you're not necessarily learning to code, but there are actually some critical or important skills that you need to acquire or be familiar with to be able to get started as a product manager. I'm just going to mention 5 key areas that I think you need to prioritize when trying to acquire the skills that would be necessary and important for you as a product manager. So the first skill is user research and problem solving, right? So as a product manager, you need to learn how to conduct user research. How do you understand the market? How do you understand your users' pain points? How do you know who you're building for, right? What do they need? Because that's what is going to infer the solution you're going to come up with as product manager. So first skill is user research and problem solving. The second thing would be road mapping and prioritization. This is one of the important things that a product manager does, right? Setting a product roadmap, right? So you have a product that you want to develop, right? How do you break it down into small features? How do you create a roadmap? Say, oh, this quarter we're focusing on this part of the products, next quarter we'll focus on this. And then prioritization, right? You want to learn about all of the different prioritization techniques. You want to know how you can create a framework that works for your team, right? So road mapping and prioritization is also another very important skill that you need to acquire. And then the next important skill that you need as a product manager is data analysis, right? So you need to be able to back your decision with numbers, because as a PM, you're literally a decision maker, right? The entire organization, because you're like the mini CEO of your product, right? So it means you would have to take a lot of critical decisions, and it's expected of you as a product manager to be able to make decisions backed by data, right? And how do you do this? Is by you acquiring the data analysis skills. So you can learn things like SQL. You can get familiar with Excel. You can also learn how to use tools like Google Analytics, Amplitude, that we use for like product analytics and the likes, right? So all of these tools just helps you get a lot more comfortable with analytics and getting detailed insights from data. So this is also another important skill that you need to acquire as a product manager. And then next would be communication and leadership, right? I'm not saying you should go to a leadership school, but this is one important skill that you need as well, because as product manager, you're technically leading the team, right? You have engineers, you have designers, you have software testers that are working with you, right? So how do you communicate well with them? How are you able to lead them towards the right direction or towards achieving the goals that you've set for your product, right? So communication and leadership skills are things that you just have to have, as skills you just have to have as a product manager. And then finally, I'd say basic tech understanding. Like I said earlier, you don't necessarily need to learn how to code, right? But it is important that you have basic understanding of tech, right? Of some software development concepts. You need to understand the software development lifecycle, or at what point does a project go from the PM test, from requirements gathering? At what point does it go to the designers, to the UI UX guys? At what point does it go to software engineers? At what point do we test? What's like the software development life cycle? You want to understand things like the agile methodology, Scrum, right? You just want to get very familiar with these practices, right? Because that's things that you would have to use. These are methodologies, frameworks that you have to use when interfacing with your technical team, right? So how do you organize your sprint planning? What is even a sprint, right? All of these things are things that you learn when you learn about like the agile methodology, sprint planning, sprint retrospective, your daily stand-ups, what are like different rules in the Scrum team. And you also want to understand basic technical terms like say APIs, right? Programming languages, what are SDKs, just basic tech understanding. It's important that you get this, right? Because you don't want to, I think one of the worst positions you want to be in as a PM, right, is you're interacting with engineers and then they're saying a lot of things and you just do not understand 99% of a lot of things that they say, right? So obviously, like I said, you don't have to start learning coding or learning all the different programming languages, but you just want to understand, what languages exist, what do we use, or what do we use if we're building an Android app, what do we use if we're building an iOS app, what do we use for front end, for web, back end, just having this basic tech understanding would actually go a long way. So these are like important skills that I think you need to acquire, right? So you can just create a checklist and, oh, okay, I've learned this probably from a course, or just ensure that you have or you spend time, because this would also guide you when you're planning your learning process, right? Say you want to give yourself a 3 month or a 6 month period to learn, right? So you can actually just focus on these skill areas that I have highlighted. So the next thing, right, after you're already know the skills that you need to acquire, would be to learn and probably get certified, right? I would say certification is not compulsory to get certified, but it could be helpful, right? Especially if you're completely new to tech, you do not have any experience whatsoever or any exposure whatsoever to tech, right? So I think exposure can help, but the important thing is to learn all of these skills that I've highlighted earlier on. And if you're looking at courses that you could take, right, I think there's the Udacity product management Nanodegree. There's the Google PM certification. You can also join bootcamps like Product Dive, Treford. I mean, I'll just link all of those resources in the description, right? But one thing you need to understand is that certifications will not get you the job. It's actually the skills that will get you the job. So I just need you to have that at the back of your mind. So the next thing after learning or getting certifications, or even while you're learning, right, is that you need to get a portfolio. Even without experience, right, it's important that you get portfolio, because the reality is the job market is actually quite competitive, right? So imagine you that have just gone through like a boot camp, but then there aren't like actual projects that we can pinpoint that, oh, I worked on this, I worked with this team, or I did this, I did that, right? It might be a bit difficult, right? It might be a bit more difficult for you. So that's why it's important that you create a portfolio. And you're asking, how do I create a portfolio? So you can just work on very simple product case studies, right? So how do you work on a case study? It's something as simple as identifying product problems with maybe an app that you love, recommending improvements, right, based on research and data, and just putting together your case study. You could also work on maybe like a roadmap or wireframe based on like the improvement that you shared, and you can just document this maybe on Medium or LinkedIn and just put one out there, right? And that's thing that I also advise people is volunteering, right? If you have friends that are maybe working on a project, right, or I have a couple of guys, they are building something, just volunteer to join them as their PM, right? Like, it just helps you build track record. It just helps you be able to like put into practice all of like the things that you've learned from whatever course that you're taking. You have to put it into practice, and it also helps you have actual projects that you can add to your resume or portfolio that would really help you while applying for jobs. So volunteering, please, I need you to actually take this very important. Like, go out there. If you go online, so there are like open source startup projects that you can also join and be a part of, right? So it's just very important that you have a portfolio, you have like a track record of one or two projects that you've worked on. It doesn't have to be something really big or massive, but having a portfolio is actually very, very important. And then the next thing would be to start applying for PM roles. Like, once you be able to put together a really decent portfolio or resume, right? I mean, there are templates online on product management portfolios that you can put together, or resume, right? Especially if you're new, there are actually tons of templates online. I could also maybe share some in the description, right? So just help you package yourself in that sense, right? And then apply for jobs, right? Pro tip would be, you do not, especially if you're just starting out and if you're new, you do not necessarily need to start going in for like the really big organizations, right? You could start with startups, apply for jobs, apply for PM roles. But I think if you're also new, it'd be good to like maybe just focus more on product internship, PM internship roles, or associate product managers roles, right? And I think one thing I always tell people is the most important thing is just getting that first job. Once you're able to lock in that first job, the sky is your okay, they say sky is not your limit, sky is your starting point, right? But once you're able to like lock in the first job, you can only just go upward from there, right? So if it's you focusing on just getting an internship or associate product manager role, all well and good. Apply everywhere and anywhere you actually see openings. And then one thing that I always also advise is adopt cold mailing, right? Look for startups, reach out to say their C-suite guys, co-founders or product leads and the likes, and just sell yourself to them. Let them know you're interested in being a part of their team, right? This actually works a number of times. Obviously, not everybody would respond to you, but there's a high chance that if you really cast your nets very wide, you would at least see one or two people that would at least invite you for an interview. So it doesn't actually just stop at you applying for jobs, right? Getting in, you need to go through interviews. So the next step is that you need to be prepared for interviews, right? Don't take your PM, even if it's a PM internship interview. One thing I need you to know is that the competition is actually real and fierce, right? So you need to maximize that opportunity. At least you've been given the chance, to actually speak with them. So you need to prepare as if you're preparing for like a senior product manager role, right? Just so that you're able to, sell yourself, you're able to answer questions correctly, right? Even if you don't even have that much hands-on experience, or even if you don't have any hands-on experience, based on the courses or things that you've learned, being able to like communicate and be able to show that you have value to offer is very important. So I'd recommend the book Cracking the PM Interview, right? I think I would also link I have a PDF version that I could also link, right? That would really be helpful to you, right? So you just need to prepare, go on YouTube, watch mock interviews. Don't think of it that it's just an internship, right? You don't know how many other people are actually applying for that role. So whatever is worth doing is worth doing well. So you just have to give in your best, right? Even if it's an associate product manager role that you're interviewing for. So and then one final tip, right, that I think you need to incorporate, even right from the onset, right from when you've decided you want to become a product manager, would be networking, right? And one of the easiest way to network is by joining product communities, right? There are actually quite a number of them out there. There's product school, there is people in products. There are a couple of them, right? I'll probably link I'll add links to like their Slack workspace on this video so that you can just join them. That way you're able to also network with other established product managers and people that are also starting out just like yourself, and then you get access to resources. You have a platform where you can ask questions if you're not clear on something, or even job opportunities, right? A lot of people post job opportunities, internship opportunities on this community. So do not go through this this process of learning or trying to become a product manager alone. There are communities that can actually guide you and can help you fast track this process, right? And then on LinkedIn as well, just connect with as many product managers as you can, right? And then building in public, just as you go through your courses, you're working on projects, portfolios, just keep putting word out there, right? Just so you're top of mind for people. And that way, if anyone has like a job opportunity, I just know that, oh, I'm only seeing this person's PM related posts on LinkedIn, right? You know what, this person's top of mind, let me just share or recommend this person for this role, right? So I think these are like practical tips that can help you start your career as a product manager and also potentially help you secure your first job as a product manager. So final thoughts, becoming a product manager this year is 100% possible. You do not need an MBA or you don't need to have coding skills to become a product manager. I believe you've been able to apply all of these tips that I've shared. You are on the right track. So if you still have additional questions, please leave them in the comment section. So if you have videos that you want me to create relating to your product management journey, leave those comments, right? You could also share on one or two things that you've learned from this video in the comment section. And please do not forget to hit the subscribe button. I'm trying to hit 5,000 subscribers before the end of this month. So help make that happen. Hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to like this video and share it with everyone that you know that is looking to get started as a product manager. Thank you for watching. Bye.